Hi, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Frontline Calling. Hi, Adrian, good to see you.
Hi Jan.
You are at a very interesting place today, a place that is not easy to reach, especially for German journalists. It's the Red Square, the biggest square in Moscow, and you are there at the moment to report about the big so-called victory parade in Moscow. It's a very special event this year. It's 80 years since the end of the Second World War, and of course, it's an event that is still taking place during the ongoing war in Ukraine. Can you tell me a little bit how the situation is there?
Right, as you rightly said, I'm close to Red Square right now, right in front of the Kremlin, where tomorrow, 9th of May, is the big victory day, the big victory parade here, a very important day for Russia, where they celebrate the victory against Nazi Germany. And because it's the 80th time, it's going to be one of the biggest celebrations ever. And we can see that right here, how tight the security measures are, how tight the preparations are going on. Behind here, you can see the setup already. They're putting up the stands for the state visitors that will be coming tomorrow. You can see they closed down a lot of the spaces already, and you see a massive presence of security forces. And this is just the day before the big parade. Yesterday, they had a rehearsal, and you even saw a much bigger security presence than what you see today. They really closed down a wide area in the city center. A lot of streets were closed down, and they
I even
also
heard that they closed or they shut down mobile internet connections, right?
actually that also happened, and it was like to many, it was not a surprise that it happened yesterday because they announced it a few hours before that this might happen, but it apparently never happened before during rehearsals already, and it shows you how nervous the authorities here are about possible security threats and in particular attacks from the Ukrainian side. Remember, there was the call for ceasefire by Putin for 3 days that basically started today. But the Ukrainians said, no, we want a 30-day ceasefire, as we have requested it a long time ago together with the Americans, and Putin has not accepted that deal. So why would we accept a deal of only 3 days? So now it's basically only the Russians who said there will be a ceasefire. The Ukrainians haven't accepted it, and hence there's the big fear that there might be possible drone attacks here during the parade.
I read that Ukraine's President Zelensky even warned international visitors not to attend the parade due to security considerations. How realistic do you think is a Ukrainian attack during the event, or maybe even a staged attack from the Russian side? This has also been said could be a possibility.
Of course, very hard to say. On the one hand, the Ukrainians probably consider to attack. It's a war that is going on, and the whole world is watching at Moscow at the moment. On the other hand, you have a lot of very important head of states here. Hence, maybe also not the best idea to not only threaten the Russians, but also a lot of other visitors here. The Chinese president arrived already, Xi Jinping. There might be also the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, coming here. That is not yet confirmed, but a lot of very important people here. So you can certainly feel, though, that there's a sense of tension in the air, and that the security forces are really on high alert.
But also maybe politically, what do you think? It might not be the best moment to attack Moscow. Obviously, it's a full-scale invasion in Ukraine going on, Russian aggression there. But this event is actually the liberation from Nazi Germany. So it's maybe a symbolic event where an attack would be, well, could be considered quite inappropriate, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For the Russians, a very important day. The nation here was under existential threat 80 years ago. I think around 13 million Soviet soldiers were killed during that war and 14 million civilians. So unbelievably high numbers, and understandably, the Liberation Day, the Victory Day, is very important for Russians. And yes, it would be definitely not considered lightly if there was a massive attack by the Ukrainians during that time. All we can do is see what will happen. Nobody knows what the Ukrainians are considering to do tomorrow.
Now, of course, it's not just a military parade, but also a huge diplomatic event for President Putin. Dozens of presidents, you've already mentioned it, dozens of heads of states are expected, but I read there are also some cancellations, right?
Yeah, I mean the Kremlin announced that around about 2 dozens of head of states are going to participate, are visiting this parade tomorrow, and like it's not yet 100% sure who exactly is going to be among them. What is clear, Xi Jinping has arrived already. I mean that is by far the most important guest, I would say, for Putin, and the most important ally, obviously, as well. He's been here. He arrived here for a state visit for several days. Also from Europe, the Serbian president has arrived. There was also speculation about representatives from Slovakia or Slovenia coming. So basically from European Union countries. That has not been yet confirmed. But the other big speculation point is also, will Kim Jong-un come, the North Korean leader? That is also not yet confirmed. Will be kind of a surprise tomorrow. If he comes, it would be the first time that you see those three leaders together at an event. Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, and Vladimir Putin, basically, yeah, showing a kind of group of allies that many in the West are sort of afraid of.
Would be an interesting picture, definitely. But what will you do during the day? Do you know already? Will you get close to the action, or can you basically just stay a few kilometers away?
Well, hopefully closer than during the rehearsal yesterday, because we actually do have our permits, our accreditations. There's like a massive press, international press center even behind me here, where everything is quite well organized. The problem yesterday was, though, to get here, because when all the preparations start, they close down huge parts of the city center. Many roads are closed, and we had the example yesterday that some police guys just didn't care if we have papers or not. Their order was to close the roads, so they left it closed, so we didn't manage to get here. So most likely we have to leave very early tomorrow morning to come to the Red Square to get our places. There's rumors that at 5, 6 o'clock we might already have to be here, and then wait many hours in the cold before the parade starts. But yeah, I guess considering the scale of this event and the scale of the dimension of, I mean, participants, not only state participants, but also forces, by the way. The Chinese sent some soldiers as well who are participating in the parades. They were marching already some days before through the city of Moscow.
Some interesting symbolism, especially after the debates that Chinese soldiers or probably rather fighters, voluntary fighters, were fighting in Ukraine, right?
Absolutely. I was also quite surprised. But yeah, the pictures already went viral here with celebrating Chinese tourists, with Chinese soldiers marching next to them and singing in the center of Moscow. So yeah, certainly a clear symbol of support for Russia.
Well, I wish you good luck in getting up very early and standing there in the cold. I will definitely follow your reporting in the coming days. Thanks a lot for your time, and of course, also thanks a lot to our viewers. If you have questions to Adrian, if you have comments, please leave us some remarks in the our post at YouTube. So we will try to read everything, and we will also try to reply, of course. So yeah, all the best to you, Adrian. I guess we will already speak again tomorrow, maybe when the parade is ongoing.
Hopefully, if they don't shut down all internet connections, if they do, I'll give you a ring afterwards.
Okay, let's give it a try. Stay safe and all the best to you.